Welcome back to the tailgate, folks. This is Clinton Miner here from Sage Sawtooth Bushcraft. I've been working on a product that I wanted to put together. I've been working on it for the last few months, trying to come up with the right formula for that. Today what we're going to be doing is looking at that product and testing a couple of those formulas so that you can help me make a decision as I decide what to put into that. That product is, as I said, a fire starter. It's a fire starter that is made of cotton pads and comes in a screw top metal container. And it's called None of Your Beeswax Fire Starter because the primary or principal ingredient in this is, in fact, beeswax. So stay tuned. So as I said, I've come up with, I've tested a number of different formulas. I've got it down to what I think is probably the two better of the formulas. The original formula that I've used is paraffin wax mixed with beeswax. And then the kind of secret ingredient, not too secret, is there's quite a bit of pine pitch in each of these. These over here have the paraffin wax and the beeswax. These, I thought I'd try something a little different. I really wasn't sure. And these are the same beeswax and pine pitch ingredients, same proportions, but in place of the paraffin, we've added soy wax. So let's go ahead and give those a try. A little breezy, but we'll see how those work. And we'll kind of do a back-to-back test to see how each of them burns. You can see I've got them scored into essentially quarters. We'll go ahead and start with a quarter from the beeswax paraffin, and we'll go ahead then and pull these apart. What you'll see here is one of the nice things about these little pads is they kind of pull apart in a way that you can kind of get some of that fiber from that the original cotton there. I've got this set up now so that there's a little bit of a wind block. Tried to start one of those and it put itself out, or the wind put it out. So I'm gonna pull another one of these apart. I've got it set up here with my pickup so that I'm out of the direct wind. Get that thing started. You can see just a small flame. And we will use the counter on the camera to see how long that burns by itself. Again, this is the one that has as the principal ingredient the beeswax. The secondary ingredient in this particular one is the paraffin. And then just to make them a little more volatile, makes them a lot easier to start, we've gone ahead and included some pine pitch. And we'll go ahead and see how that burns. All right, now one of the things I've figured out or found in my previous testing is that as they start to blacken on the top, if you turn them over, you get quite a bit more fire out of it. So I flipped that over. We'll do the same thing with the other test subject, and that'll give us the full value of the burn time for this particular formula, and we'll see how the other formula fares against it. All right, now if I turned that over again, I think we would have gotten a little more fire, but that gives us a pretty good indicator of the burn time for that formula. That is, again, the paraffin wax, pine pitch, and beeswax formula that burnt for that period of time, and I will write up in the corner exactly how long that lasted. So now let's go ahead and grab us a piece of the other formula. One of the things I found with this other formula, the formula that includes the soy mix, is that when it gets a little warm, it makes great hand cream. You got a little bit of pine pitch. It's got some antiseptic properties. I think even some anti-inflammatory properties. You've got some beeswax that is just great for your skin, but that soy is a little softer, and it seems to do real well. So we'll go ahead and start this one up. And we'll see how long it burns. One of the things that you see with both of these formulas is the very substantial flame that you're getting out of this. This is certainly going to be something that during the time it burns is going to help you dry out some of your small tinder, and keep that fire going until you can get some of the pencil size things going well and keep your fire going. All right, there that one's out. We're going to do one more test. If you recall, when I laid the piece down that had the paraffin wax in it, I laid it down flat. This one I kind of made a teepee of, and it burnt pretty quickly. So not that I'm going to try and give an advantage to it, but as I've thought about it, I realized I'd kind of played them a little differently. So what we will do, see if we can't get off a fairly even portion of this. One of the things I can see right now as I'm out here in the sunshine and it's being protected from the wind, the formula with the soy wax is much softer. I'm going to have to come up with something that solidifies that a little bit, or else it'll be kind of a winter formula as opposed to the paraffin wax, which is more of a summer formula, because the way it is melting, it's going to be way too gooey on a hot summer day. You can see even where I've got this sheltered or protected here in the back of my pickup, I still have quite a lot of wind going, and these are fairly wind resistant. Both kinds are. Having this laid down now, you can see I've got quite a lot smaller flame, but we're going to burn quite a lot longer. with the other one. I'm going to go ahead and lift this up. Hopefully not cause it to go out as I do. Pretty good. Oh. Try again. All right, I put that out. I'm going to go ahead and edit out a bunch of the attempts to get it lit again, but now we've got it lit again. We'll put it back there and let it burn the rest of the way. One of the things I'm going to do while we've got that burning is go ahead and process this. The one that's burning is the soy wax formula. Go ahead and get a paraffin wax formula when set up in the teepee stand. Well, maybe. Get the paraffin wax one set up in the teepee stance. Maybe. And see how it burns. You can see, just like the one that had the just the soy wax, when it was split out like that, you get a much larger flame, but you can see that it's consuming itself much quicker. Whereas the soy that's laying down, just like the other one, is burning longer, but it is burning with a smaller flame. In each of the canisters there will be 6 of the pads. Each of those is divided into 4, so you get 24 fires. If you're in a dry situation without a lot of problems, it would be easy enough to split those again into smaller portions and have plenty of flame to get a fire going, so you could have double that number of flames very easily. But the quarter seems to work out quite well for all circumstances. Alright, the soy wax formula has finally gone out, laying flat. The paraffin wax in the teepee, or the split formula, is still burning. And between those, I'll set at the end some numbers showing how long each burned. The soy formula in the laying down and the teepee formation, and then the paraffin in the laying down and the teepee formation. One of the things that's quite interesting is that there is really very little waste in these. In fact, I can show you that that soy still has some left, and will essentially eat itself up, disappear completely. It's gone out again, but it is smoldering as an ember and kind of wasting away. The paraffin formula is about to go out. There it is. So now we've got some times established. I will go ahead and calculate those times based on the counter on the clock on the camera, and set up a little chart showing you how each burnt, again, as they were laying down and as they were set up in essentially the TP formula. But you can tell these are great ways to get a fire started, and that with a canister like this, small enough to put in your pocket, but or in a backpack, in a day pack, in a purse, or any kind of implement, you're set up with a number of fires, at least 24, that you can start really in any kind of weather. Because of this wax involved, these are pretty waterproof, and you should be able to get a fire started with them without a whole lot of trouble. Fraying them the way that this frayed when I pulled these apart, you can do it with a ferrocerium rod or with a lighter, with a match, and you've got a way to get a fire started. So once again, this is Clinton Miner from Sawtooth Bushcraft. I appreciate you coming back to the tailgate with me. I appreciate the support you've given us in this YouTube adventure, and all of these products will be available at our website at sagetosawtoothbushcraft.com, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.